Well, hey there everybody, Kay here on the homestead. Welcome back. Today I'm going to plant garlic. I looked at the Farmer's Almanac and it's November the 12th and the last favorable day to plant root crops for 2 weeks, which would put me to November 28th, the latest I've ever planted garlic. So I've got to do it today, and I've got about 2.5 hours before sundown. So let's get started. So I have all my garlic here in this bowl, and I've got 2 bags, 2 from Territorial Seed, and I ordered late, so I wasn't sure I was going to get anything, so I went to Garlic Gods and I ordered Chestnut Red, which is a hardneck garlic that does okay here. And then I've also got Italian Late, I've got Music garlic, and I've got a few garlic cloves from my own garden from last year, the biggest ones. I pulled out the biggest heads, and that's what I have to use for this year. So I'm also going to be using the electroculture coils. That's different. What I'm going to cover here in this video, as opposed to my other garlic videos, is what I'm doing differently this year to ensure success. I've had a little trouble growing garlic here for various reasons. I have growing in a raised bed, growing in containers. All those garlic videos are right up there. If you're an urban dweller, be sure and check out those videos. This year I'm going to be using the electroculture coils and see if that helps. And I'm also going to be planting in my most fertile soil down in the lower garden. I found that planting in the raised beds up here, there just wasn't enough sun, and the soil in the raised beds just stayed too wet. So I'm going to see how they do down in the lower garden. The lower garden is already tilled. I had a cover crop in there. It was cut down. It was tilled. It is ready to go. I just have to add my bone meal and my IV organic all-purpose with 6 macronutrients fertilizer. So, and then I've got my crushed leaves to go on top. So we're gonna, first of all, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna separate all my garlic, and then we'll get started. I'd love to do this in advance, so I'm not so pressed for time, but you're supposed to take it off, separate it right before you plant it. So you need to account for the time to do that. Save the tiny little pieces, if you will, to use in your kitchen, and just plant the big ones. This is the Chestnut Red from Garlic Gods. Okay, I am reporting in. I have run into a slab, a limestone slab. What I can see is this big. This cannot exist in my garden. However, there's no way I'm getting that out of there. So I'm going to have to probably just start my row on this side, do as much as I can, and then in 2 weeks put another row on this side. I don't know what else to do. And next time Corey's over here with his excavator, just get him to dig it up. There's one thing about it, that's not something you run into when you're planting in a raised bed. Okay, this is bone meal, and we're just going to give it a dusting. And we've got our IV organic, all-purpose organic fertilizer 333 with the macronutrients and the micronutrients. This is for fruit trees, vegetables, ornamentals, roses, and flowers. So we're going to give it a nice dose of this. Garlic is, it loves a rich, nitrogen-rich soil. I do want to point out, if you're planting garlic or onions and you're using strong fertilizer, you know, like 20-20-20 or any of that kind of thing, you need a side dress. But this is organic, slow release fertilizer, so I can kind of put it right on top of it. When you're planting, you always want to plant the, in case you're new at this, you always want to plant the pointy side up and the root side down, like that, about 2 inches below the surface. So I just wanted to give you a shot of that huge slab under there. That it just cannot exist. I've got to get it out of there. It cannot exist 2 inches under my soil down here. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? How you think it all through, and then you get a big curveball. Now this was tilled. I guess the tiller didn't hit that big slab. I don't know. But it cannot exist there. It's got to come out. And now I've walked back, and I thought of this. I've walked back and forth on the row next to the one row of garlic, and it's going to need to be dug up or tilled or something to loosen that up. I was really surprised. This is the best soil in my whole garden down here, and it was hard to push that broken off end of my rake down in 2 inches. I guess it compacted, I don't know. And so it was hard to get the cloves down as far as they really should be. So I added that extra soil, and then just for tonight I just put some ground leaves, but I'm going to do a better job of covering that. I'm also going to use some of my horse manure, and I just need to get that screened and put a nice row of that on here. So that's where it stands right now. Thanks so much for coming along on this journey to build a sustainable homestead here in Tennessee on my own. I hope it inspires you in some way as well. Please subscribe, share this channel with your friends, so help it grow. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless.